Needless to say, I have an exciting one for you today because I am here at the GM Live studio with these two beauties behind me. Yes, this is the fully refreshed 2025 GMC Yukon. I've got the Denali Ultimate over here, and I've got the new AT4 Ultimate. Let's go have a look. All right, so as I mentioned, this is a new trim level. Obviously, there's many new things we're going to talk about here today, but first and foremost, we actually have a new trim level. We have our regular AT4, but now we have the AT4 Ultimate, and basically what GMC is saying, of course, is there's many of you that like that sporty, that kind of off-road feel, but you want the amenities that we are seeing here in the classy Denali Ultimate in terms of the inside. All that being said, the AT4 again carries that off-road look. Let's start out here at the back. You're going to see we have the quad tip exhaust back here. And we're talking about exhaust, let's talk about motors, talk about engines. There is a new available engine for the AT4 now. We now have the ability to get the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel, and it's a newer version of that. You know, the one with 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. Yes, the one that they're using in the current GMC Sierras. Well, now you're able to finally get that right here in the AT4. And of course, you can do the 6.2 as well. 6.2 will be the standard motor on the Denali Ultimate, and of course on the AT4 Ultimate. We are going to have different trim levels, by the way, still. Gone away is the SLT, gone away is the SLE, replaced by the Elevation. We don't have that here today. The Elevation is going to be your starting point. Lots of things you can, you know, trim on that vehicle. And then you're going to have your regular AT4, your regular Denali, then you're going to have, again, as we're looking at here, the AT4 Ultimate, and then of course the Denali Ultimate. Now 20-inch wheels are standard on this Ultimate. I've been told that basically the wheels are going to look the same on the regular AT4. The difference on the Ultimate is it has a little bit different coloring in the inside here. Wheel shape or design, I should say, will be the same. Of course, what we're seeing different out here is we now have piano gloss black here in the front. It's also cut up higher for a better approach angle than we had, I think, in the past. And then you have piano black around here and this kind of lighter material here. My understanding is the regular AT4, this will be a little bit darker. So there is going to be some subtle differences in terms of the exterior, you know, appearance between an Ultimate and, of course, your regular AT4. Inside, though, and we're going to look at the Ultimate here in a second, the Denali Ultimate, but let's look at what we're talking about here on the inside of the AT4 Ultimate. You recognize this interior? Yes, it's the Obsidian Rush interior with that white trim, as well as the white piping, the red trim and the white piping, I should say. Where did we see that? Of course, we're seeing that on the AT4X when it comes to the trucks, right? Well, now we've got this incorporated in the AT4 Yukon, which I really love. Still got the screens back here on both sides, and an 8-inch screen down here where you can control heated seats and so on for your rear passengers, HDMI ports, and the USB-C ports there for charging as well. Heading up front though, check this out. I'm going to show you some more screen technology when we get to the Denali Ultimate, but in this one, both these trucks are going to, or these SUVs are going to have the 16.8-inch portrait or vertical style screen. And the cool part is you can have this screen split, so you can have some things on top and some different things on the bottom. But what's really cool about this as well is they have retained some of these here as well, some of your piano keys down here, so you get some manual, and then of course even a manual audio button, which I know a lot of you will like. Another thing I didn't like that they got rid of in my truck was I always like storage up here. Well, they still have it, even though you can't see it. There is storage up here. Check that out. And it's got like that kind of felt interior in there, so if you want to throw your sunglasses in there or whatever, it's not going to be a problem. Of course, we have the rear vision camera mirror in this one, a big pano sunroof as well. We have the speakers in the headrest here. I believe it was 18 speaker Bose stereo system, as you can see down here as well. Maybe it's 16 in this. Actually, it's 18, I believe, in that, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Steering wheel is new. We also have the new shifter here. The EPS system is now up on here. So it's an electric precision shifter, but it's up here on the column. It's gone away from down here or any kind of buttons we've had in different vehicles. We've seen this, of course. We see it in the new, new Tahoe, I believe, has it. I think we see it in the new Acadia, a number of different vehicles in the new Buick Enclave. So this seems to be a way they're going. But headlights are not on here. They are still down here. So for those of you who have had a problem with the headlights being shifted, we still have them over there. Tow ratings should remain pretty much the same as the old Yukons as well. And we have here the trailer brake system, as you can see there. Now we have this virtual screen in front of us, which is kind of cool. That is something also new. And I want to talk more about screens when we get into the other vehicle. And of course, Super Cruise is now an option on pretty much, I think, every trim level. I believe it's standard on the Ultimate versions. And again, if you didn't know this, I think Super Cruise is now working on 2-lane highways, not just 4-lane highways in many locations now. And I think they're up to like, I want to say it's like 750,000 miles in the US and Canada now for the Super Cruise semi-autonomous driving. So again, that's, really phenomenal. I even like this. I love the piano black in here, by the way. And then everything is kind of nice and smooth here in terms of how that operates. Okay, let's head over here. And let's just talk about the design, the exterior design on this. Of course, what they've done is they've stretched things out. They've put everything out to the corners to make it wider, more planted, what they would call a more planted stance to it. So it almost seems like it's a bit lower here, but it's wider out here. And of course, we have the cut up, as I mentioned, on the AT4. The Denali has this nice, they brought this piece down further. And of course, as I mentioned, they've gone out here. One of my favorite parts about this, there's tons of things I like about this Ultimate, but check this out. Check out right in here. You've got the topographical map, pardon me, right in the GMC logo. It's the little touches. You'll actually even see on, by the way, the brand new 24-inch wheels. You're going to see it even has a little Denali written right there on this. And for those of you who wanted it, we see the Ultimate logo is now on here, something I've always wanted, and I think many of you have as well. I think it looks really nice, really subtle, doesn't stand out. I got the Denali here on the headlights, by the way. Brand new headlights, of course. It says precision LED there, as you can see. And then we have our fog lights down there below, obviously, as well. Tow hook wise, of course, you're going to see here, obviously you have the tow hooks in red on the AT4. And then down here, we don't have them on this one. So again, I mean, a difference between the two of these. Again, 24-inch wheels are standard. My understanding is you can opt down to a 22-inch wheel, but I mean, I think these suit this vehicle. They fill that hole properly. I think they look absolutely phenomenal. Your hitch is still behind here. As I mentioned, the Denali Ultimate also still gets the quad tip exhaust back here. Nice square look to it, so it's classy and it's kind of sporty at the same time. Ultimate, of course, is still retaining all this black stuff. You saw the Vader chrome out front there in the grille also. A little bit of storage underneath here. You have the power seats here as well. See, that folds down, and it folds back up, and so does the second row there as well. Let's talk about some more things that are up here in the second row, though. So, much like a vehicle we've seen released lately, they're using a terminology that we've seen in the Cadillac Escalade, and it's called the executive second row. That means, by the way, once I get up front, we can see this color, but there's a new color interior in the Ultimate as well. But that means we now have all the controls here. That 8-inch screen, we saw that in the other one too. You still have your screens here, but you now have like things like massaging seats. Let me see if it shows up in here. Yeah, there you go. You have massaging seats in here that you can manipulate. I think it even come up on the screen up there, but you definitely can control from back here. Ventilated, heated seats. They have it all back here now. And there's the speakers right there in the headrest of these beautiful looking seats. But again, so I think this one has 18 speakers, if I'm not 18 speaker Bose system. Again, the big panel roof on this as well. Some other things that carry up front. And by the way, as a heads up, I've been told, and if it's not true, but I believe obviously it is, this is what I've been told. This second row executive seating is only available in the short wheelbase Denali Ultimate only. So you're not going to be able to get that executive second row with the massaging seats in an AT4 Ultimate, only in the Denali Ultimate and only in the short wheelbase, from what I've been told, so not in the XL. I still love this color, by the way, the titanium rush metallic. I know it's been out for a while. There's a reason for it, because it looks spectacular. All right, heading inside here, of course, you're going to have all the memory seats and heated and ventilated seats. We know all that, but check out the color difference. It has a unique name for it. I don't even remember. I'm going to put it up on here. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's brown, right? And it's a different color substantially, I think, different color than what we saw in the past versions of the Denali Ultimate, whether you see it in the truck or whether you see it in here. And I actually really like it. Again, speakers here, you got the top graphical map in the seats, a nice, you know, badging here of Ultimate. That's your massaging seat button there. And if we head in here, you can see some other things that I wanted to show you. So first and foremost, again, 16.8-inch screen. Now though, first time coming to GMC, this has been in the Escalades for a little bit, but now we're gonna have, I don't think I can show you in here because it might not work just due to the fact that, oh, there's a camera button there. Look at that, press that button, turns the cameras on. That's pretty cool. But we're now gonna have the night vision. So that is basically enabling you to see people, anything with basically any kind of heat. You're gonna be able to see them on the screen here further than your headlights are gonna go. I've used this before in a Cadillac Escalade. It works absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really excited to see it come into this. I'm going to show you the night vision right here. First and foremost, there is your navigation. That's kind of cool. That's something I really like to see on here. And then if you hit this button again, by the way, I'm hitting this button down here, you're going to get over to night vision. See how you can see there's people sitting at the desk over here, and you can see their heat here. Again, this is great if you're driving in a northern climate where there's bush around you can't see. You're going to see a deer, you're going to see a moose much further ahead of you. Not to mention, even in the city, you're going to see somebody maybe at night they're not normally going to see. Again, great screen here. I love, again, that 16.8-inch here. Again, it still retains this. Up here, you still, of course, have your rear camera mirror. Now, we have some storage in here, of course, and I wanted to show you this. As I mentioned, not only, of course, do you have the armrest that lifts up, but like the previous versions, where are we here? Oh. It has the power adjustable armrest, which I've always loved that, because not only, again, do you have the storage in here, you can hide things under here, and you can still slide that up, so you can still utilize the armrest. And guess what? There's a little bit of storage there. And then your passengers, now your rear passengers have more access to those rear cup holders. So I really like that feature. I've always liked that since they brought it out in the previous generation. The current, I guess you would say, until this one comes out. But again, it has that as well. They're using all these kind of open pore woods in both of these, of course. This is a little bit darker. There's a little bit more of a gray in there. I don't know if you had seen when I was in there, but again, the brown to go with the brown of this vehicle. Again, so many little things. All just right down to all this, you know, meticulous stitching and different materials. Not materials, but different design that they've used on different parts of the seat to give it some depth to it. So, again, phenomenal upgrade they did to both of these. I'll have some individual stuff coming out on these as we go along as well. But again, the new 2025 Denali Ultimate, AT4 Ultimate, and we're going to see an elevation eventually as well. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, take care.